This month, my agency is going to make somewhere between $35,000 and $40,000 in personal profit for myself. 1 year ago, I was making between $1,000 and $2,000 a month as an appointment setter. And in this video, I just want to go over some of the key shifts that I've made to be able to scale to where I am today, some things that I'm still struggling with, and how I'm going to keep scaling to make $50,000 a month in personal profit, which is my goal. After that, I'll probably have another goal, as with everything, but at the moment, that is what I'm striving towards. So for those of you who don't know what I do, I run a kind of a growth partner agency focused on webinars and done-for-you sales systems for info products and coaching companies. And the bulk of our revenue comes from partners. It's pretty much a one-man agency at the moment. I do have a couple of people that I'm bringing on board now as we scale. I guess that's the first thing I can get into. As you scale, there will be bigger and bigger problems, and that's just the nature of business. I'm only like, if you're watching this and you're at 0 or you're at 10K a month, there's only going to be more and more problems that you face, operational complexity, and I'm at kind of that first level of going from 1 to 2 and 3. So that is a huge thing that I've been dealing with. Finding the right people to work with is definitely tough, which is why I'm doubling down on content to be able to find those people. The reason why I've been able to scale so quickly with what I'm doing from, basically starting a year ago to being where I am now is mainly because of my identity and seeing myself as the type of person that makes this amount of money. I now see myself as someone taking the action that is making $50,000 a month, and I know it's just a matter of time catching up. These past few weeks especially, I've been so disciplined and so focused on solely that goal amongst like a few other smaller goals that I know that every single action I'm taking is aligned. So my biggest piece of advice for anyone is shifting their identity. Literally shifting my identity so someone who makes this amount of money is what has allowed me to make the amount of money. A perfect example is in April, I made, I think, $10,000 a month closing, and that seemed like a ton of money to me. And my identity, like now if I was at $10,000 and it was towards the end of the month, I would be racing to either scale my current client, help them make more money and in turn make more money on the percentage, or sign new clients on upfront fees to be able to increase my cash collected that month. But at the time, my identity was aligned with that 10K a month mindset, and therefore I was very comfortable. I felt like 10K a month was a ton of money, and so I didn't go out there and put myself out there to be able to scale further. And that's something else I realized. For November and December, I'm really doubling down on what I'm best at. So that is webinars. Like the case studies I have with webinars are insane for like how short I've been doing them, and I love them. I absolutely love running webinars. We're running one tomorrow for a new client, a fitness coaching client. So very interested to see how that goes. But if you're at the point where you're a growth operator, or even if you're a closer or you're a setter in info, and you don't really know what the next steps are, always look for leverage. For me, I was kind of like a sales manager, growth operator in one offer, and I still am, and I love the offer to bits. But I know that having a USP and not just being a jack of all trades, this is some really interesting advice that I got, is going to help me scale further, because it's going to give me a way into more businesses on the B2B side of what I'm doing. And I really only have a B2B side. I don't really do any B2C anymore. That's another lesson. Like focusing on B2B is, in my opinion, where a lot of the money is at. Not for every level of business, but I think for the most fulfilling side of business. I couldn't be a setting coach who makes 50K a month for my setting course when no one really gets results and I'm not very fulfilled dealing with headache clients and that sort of thing. So yeah, I guess that's another thing I learned. This video is going to be a whole clusterfuck of learnings, but I hope you can take something from them. 1 year ago, I was in Bulgaria. I was quite lost. I was just setting, trying to make a few thousand a month so I didn't have to go to university. If I could tell myself one thing back then, or even before I started in like the online journey, when I finished my A-level, was I was kind of lost. I didn't know where I was going to go, is that things will work out, but you have to take action every day. You have to be the type of person that no matter what is going to take action that day, and you probably won't see the fruits that day. You won't see the fruits that week. You won't even see the fruits that month. But 12 months, 3 years, 5 years of taking action every single day, you have no idea how far you could get, which is why I'm so excited for the future. Not only to hit $50,000 in a single month this year in profit myself, but to hit 100K a month in the future. And something else that I have to say about like kind of this make money online space is everyone is doing way better than they think you are. You think I'm doing, like, you might think, wow, 35K a month, 40K a month, great. But like, this is only 1 month. Last month was only like 20, 25K. The month before that was probably 35 as well. But I have constant imposter syndrome of like, okay, can I actually sustain this? Like, is this a real business? And I think a lot of people struggle with the same thing. So I don't think that everything is all and glamorous on the outside. Literally 2 months ago, I was in the biggest rut I've ever had in business. I was so stressed. I wasn't working. I stopped working for like a week straight. I just did nothing all day. I just watched YouTube. I just sat around, played video games, and I was in a huge rut. So the main point I have here is also like, do not think, like, you see people posting, I'm doing 100K a month, I'm doing 60K a month, I made 50K a month. They're not doing that every month most of the time, although some of them are, right? There are exceptions. And most of the time, the numbers that people are like splurging out are like revenue numbers. So there are businesses doing $100,000 a month in revenue. They've got a business partner. Their cash collected is only 60,000 of that. They've got a business partner. They've got big operational team costs. And in the end, their take-home profit is like 17,000, 15,000. At that point, you might as well just run a solo consulting agency and make 15,000 with a whole lot less operational complexity and just scale it efficiently from there. So another few things that I've been doing is SOPing and systems to make sure when I have the right team members in place, things are already there for them so that we can really scale hard and we can take on a lot of done-for-you webinar clients, done-with-you webinar clients where I can offer consulting. To make sure we're scaling as effectively as possible. And then another point beyond that is upsells and cross sells. So once we've run a webinar for a client, what is our lifetime value for that client? Can we come in as a partner and grow the offer long term? What can we do to implement paid ads and cold traffic done for you for our clients? Because that's really, I think, the next, in terms of skill set for me. Of course, client acquisition and content. I think content is going to be huge. So that's why I've spent today scripting a couple of reels, recording this YouTube video, preparing some Miro boards for some YouTube videos. But there's always another level to business. Going back to what I said, there's always going to be another level of operational complexity, but content is going to be a huge lever. And then also acquisition. So acquisition does tie into content, but systems for outreach, referral systems, because I think a lot of my best work and a lot of my best clients are going to come from referral. Being known for what I do is going to be huge. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. It's crazy to think, you know, oh, 40K a month or 35, like I'm going to count up the numbers soon, but that sort of numbers at 19, wow, like, okay, that's like 300K a year, amazing, but after tax, after this, after that, and then, you know, the fact that that isn't consistent and I'm having to work 10 hours, 12 hours a day, I love the work, but things are so glamorized on social media. So take everything like anyone says in general with a grain of salt. A couple of other things I've noted down here for the month were focus. So I really gained focus towards the end of the month and clarity of like, this is my goal, $50,000 a month. This is why I want the goal. So having a why attached to your identity, why am I doing this, is going to propel you forward so much more than you think. Because anytime I get distracted or I have like that fork in the road between two decisions and I don't know which one to take, or I do know, but I'm kind of like being pulled away. Do I go out with friends, or do I, you know, eat the junk food, or do I just work and fast and do what I'm supposed to do? It just comes down to that question of why I'm doing this in the first place, and is this getting me to my goal of 50K a month? And literally that's all I think about, 50K a month, and that's it. There's like a few other goals that I have in terms of, okay, maintaining relationships, family, making sure I do those. Getting lean is another one, so making sure I'm in a deficit. But apart from that, like, those are such big focuses, and it's just like meditation in a way where anytime I lose focus, I'm always going back to those two goals. And I know what they're gonna do for me, and I know what they're gonna do for my family, and I've never been so focused in my life. And of course I'm not perfect. Like, I get distracted all the time. I was kind of procrastinating making this YouTube video. I think it's like 11:30 p.m. now, so I need to go to bed. But yeah, I hope you got some value from this. The biggest takeaways for me are just keep working on it. Success compounds. Every single month you stay in the same vehicle, in the same business model, compounds. You learn so much. And make your identity the person who is already where you want to be, and then your actions will align. And I think it's a lot of Sam Ovens, like, you know, alchemy of self stuff that I've been doing as well that's been super useful. So yeah, hope you took some value away from this video. I'm not sure where I'll post it or when I'll post it. Maybe I'll keep it for myself, because I'm really trying to make my YouTube channel, okay, I'm going to acquire clients from this YouTube channel. I'm going to grow this YouTube channel. This is going to be a huge asset for me. So yeah, here's to 50K a month before the end of the year.